So hi and welcome to the Stampin' Sunday blog hop, and today we're going to be focusing on special papers that are on a particular page of the Stampin' Up catalogue. We're looking at items on page 139, and so this paper is kind of like things that are just not like your everyday papers, and it's actually called Beyond Basic, and that's the name of this blog hop. So I'm going to be using the distressed gold, some copper foil sheets, and there might be some other things coming in, but those are the main things. I'm also going to be mixing it up with some DSP that is part of the DSP collection, but I just really like the kind of grungy look of it, so I'm kind of mixing and matching it both together. So I'm planning to make two items. I'm going to be making a card. I've already cut my card base here, and I'm going to be decorating a bag. So I've sort of cut a few things out and just hoping to have fun sticking it together and see what happens basically. So here I have a pre-cut card base and a piece of DSP cut to 4 and I think this is 4.5 inches. Actually, let me just double check that so that you guys know what that is. No, sorry, it's 5.5 inches and the card base is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so let's just work on this for a second. So what I've done is I use the really lovely and not used for a little while, the dies, the sunflower dies, and cut out with the brushed metallic or the gold paper some different bits and pieces ready to use on this card. So actually I've remembered I've cut 2 of these, and I'm just kind of wanting to decide which one I want to use. So do I like that one? Okay, I think I'm going to go with this one because it doesn't have the gold in the background, and I want the kind of gold pieces that I'm going to be using to really show up. So here I've cut a couple of strips and I've also ripped into it. Now this is quite a simple and effective technique that you can apply to various bits of paper, and I quite like the contrast of the gold next to the white that gets revealed when you rip it. So by doing this I'm just creating kind of a bit of a frame top and bottom of the card so that the pieces that I'm going to put in the middle have a nice kind of amount of framing. So let's stick that into place, and I've left a tiny little kind of border at the top and the bottom as well. And I can see here I've got my papers frayed a little bit, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, so here I have cut my sunflower, and I've also cut the piece to place underneath it. And I did have this lined up a second ago. Let's see if I can do it really quickly. There we go. Right, so I want to stick that onto there. And I love the kind of contrast of this brush gold against the patterning of this paper. It just shows up so beautifully. And then I did cut out the central piece to go on here, and it is somewhere, I promise it is here somewhere. Oh well, maybe I just gotta maybe I've got to wait for a second. Actually, I'm just going to double check on my floor. Yep, I was correct, it was on my floor. Oh dear. Anyway, so there's a central piece that does fit in the middle of the sunflower, so I want to raise that up a little bit. Now I've just noticed, I've seen here, just so happens I have this little circle on my desk that I cut out the other day, and I'm wondering whether to pop that underneath just to give it a little bit more sturdiness. Now I've already got these dimensionals out, so I'm going to have to put these onto something. I'm just going to give this a little quick cut around because it was slightly too big for my central piece, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue just around there to make that a little bit sturdier before sticking that down in the middle of my beautiful sunflower. And incidentally, the stamp set with this die is still available, you know, along with the dies, and still really gorgeous, and I still use the stamps quite often. Okay, so the other piece that I cut was this gorgeous piece of copper leaf from the stamp set that, sorry, the dies that accompany the artistically inked stamp set, and I think they're just called artistic dies, to be honest, and they are very dramatic. Now, you don't have to use them all in one piece. You can cut up sections and just use them as you feel, you know, is useful. So I often do this, just cut leaves down so that I can use them. And then I did cut this lovely copper butterfly as well, which I am thinking of maybe having that, yeah, there on the sunflower, happily basking in the sunshine. And then also to accompany the sunflower die, these lovely kind of wheat sort of pieces. Now the gold paper is not the thickest, so if you wanted to perhaps give it a bit of reinforcement, I would suggest that you actually stick the gold paper with adhesive sheet onto another piece of cardstock before cutting it out if you wanted it to be a little bit more sturdier. But in this situation, I'm quite happy just to stick it directly to my card and you know, be done with it. So I'm just applying very fine amount of glue and going to be sticking all these pieces down. Then I'll come back to you. So I have my leaf pieces stuck down and I'm ready to put my sunflower on with 3 dimensionals on the back of it. And as per usual, I've not put a sentiment on. Sometimes I just like to leave sentiments off until I've decided who I'm going to be giving the card to. And I don't really feel it needs much more to this now because it's quite a busy textured card, and I may just pop a few little sequins on here as a final touch, but I really don't feel that it needs, it needs much more. So here we've got some festive sequins that are available in the mini catalogue, and I'm really enjoying these at the moment, and I also really enjoying mixing and matching different kind of embellishments on my cards. So I will mix you know, different colours, different textures, and like for example here I've got some of these really pretty, they're called fine sparkle adhesive back gems, and yeah, I like sort of combining them really. So that one is just, it's come off the glue, but if you just hook off, whoop, oh, it's just disappeared. Oh, okay, I've lost that one. The glue flicked in that direction. Kind of wasn't meant to happen that way. Never mind. I'll probably find it at some point. Okay, and then I want some of these gold ones on here as well. And you may have seen me do this already, but what I really love doing is also popping some of the new enamel effects as well onto these to give them an extra little bit of special zhuzh. So I'm just going to do a little tiny blob in there, and there, tiny one there. Oh, don't need one there. Move it around. There we go. A tiny blob there. So that just finishes my card. There we go. And now what I want to do is decorate one of these lovely ribbed bags. So I've pre-cut a panel to stick on here, and again I'm just going to focus on doing the panel first and then I'll stick it on. I don't tend to stick things straight onto card bases or bags immediately, just in case I make a mistake. So earlier on I did do a bit of experimenting with colouring the gold paper, so I just want to show you how that works, and that's because we're using two dies here. We've got the kind of very gorgeous veining of this die, and then you've got the outlined shape there. So this one has no colouring in, whereas this one I've used Mossy Meadow alcohol pen. So I'm just going to grab mine out and show you. It's a very subtle difference, actually. It was less difference than I thought there would be, but nevertheless there is, it kind of makes it go a bit darker. So I thought I would have a go doing that and showing you how that looks. Now the other thing I cut out was some little dragonfly. Oh, I found the glue thing. Oh, it flicked over onto a dragonfly. Okay, I'm going to save that for later. Oh, it looks like a bit like a scab. It's not a scab, everybody. It's just a bit of glue. Right, I'm going to save that and pop that on there. Hopefully it will stay. Sometimes things don't like to stay, but come on, go on. That's it. Right, so I've coloured in my leaves with Mossy Meadow. I'm just going to see if it will get a bit darker for me. Come on. And then also I'm going to just do the middle of these dragonflies. I think I might use the other tip, actually. That was a little bit too heavy-handed of me. So I'm just going to go down the middle like so. Oh, if you can hear that rattling in the background, it's my baking foil that I put up at my window to try and prevent the room getting so hot the other day. And the window is a little bit open and it's a little bit breezier tonight, so it's really lovely billowing around. Oh, I've just remembered I was meant to put a butterfly onto my card. I don't know if it needs it, to be honest. Oh, it might do. Okay, we'll see if we use it or not in this one, because I have got a spare one here. Right, so what I want to do now is just put these together. So that sits very nicely on top of that leaf there. And yes, I've got too much glue there, but I'm going to hopefully cover that up with something else. So it shouldn't be a problem. That's kind of why I cut that great big butterfly, because I thought I'd have a little collection of leaves here in the corner and have maybe the butterfly going on top of it. So I think that can sit there like that. I'm going to clean my fingers off because they're a bit gooey. Now I've got one single leaf there, and I do have these ones. So I wonder if we could arrange it like that. Have that there. Got one of these left. That could look quite good. And then I've got these little dragonflies about the place. Right, let's get these stuck down. Okay, so now I want to put my butterfly on, but I feel that the detail of it is getting a little bit lost with all the detail of the background. So I do have a vellum piece here that matches the butterfly, and I'm thinking of using that in the background just to give a little bit of sort of softening, really, so that it will show up better. So I'll stick that down before putting my copper butterfly in place. I've just realised there's another little piece that needs to be poked out. And of course we need to put some sequins or something on here, so I'm going to use these large ones. I think we'll have 3 in a row, just to bring attention to the centre of that butterfly. Okay, I like that. And then to make it extra special, I'm going to take some of these and pop these in the centre of the sequin. How beautiful. And then I can't waste these little dragonflies because these were just cut from sort of extra little pieces that were spare, really. You know, when you've bought really pretty paper like that, you can't let any of it go to waste. So I had to get those out of the scrap. They're just a really inexpensive embellishment, basically, when you use those little dragonflies. Right, ready to stick it onto the bag now. Now these bags are available in packs of 8 and they're really sturdy and they save a ton of time. If you haven't got time to be making a little bag for a gift, then you have these ready made, and as you can see, you know, very easily you can decorate it by just putting something on the front. And there we go. I'm just going to open it up so that you can see what that's like. And there you have it. So this was the Beyond Basics blog hop. Oh, I haven't decided whether to put the butterfly on that one. Well, it was happy. It was quite merrily sitting there, so I think I will stick it on because it seemed very, very happy there. Of course, I had to just bling up the butterfly. It just needed an extra bit of bling on there, and maybe this one needs a few little dots around the place as well. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me on this blog hop. Do go and check out the rest of the other hoppers by going to the description of this video and clicking on the link to my blog post, and there you will have a link to all the other folks taking part in this amazing blog hop. I am so honoured to be part of it. It's a round the world one, and there are so many very, very talented, and I've just put my fingers in that, talented demonstrators from around the world. So just a tip, you know, when you use this stuff, let it dry before touching it, because look, that's what happens. Right, happy Sunday to you, and I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye.